Hey guys, welcome to JPlays. I am Iceman. This is my playthrough of Emperor Battle for Dune. And oh my god, has this required a lot of tinkering to get it to work. So if you watched my playthrough of Dune 2000 last year, on completion of that game I had planned to play through this at that point in time. Now, there was a few issues straight away. Firstly, this game is not sold anywhere anymore, so the only way you can get a hold of this is through, if you're really lucky and you go to an op shop or something and find some CDs of this, or you go the abandonware route and get game images of it, which is another viable one as well. That's the first thing. Then it becomes the much bigger thing of getting this to even work in Windows 10 or 7 or whatever. Because I think this one was made for I don't know. When did this come out? 2001? So Windows XP. So this game does not work at all natively in Windows 10. Like I'm running this in Windows 10 now. This required so much tinkering. It required a massive amount of time and research online, forum posts, mods on ModDB, the works. So back last year, I must have spent a week trying to get this thing to work. Failed, but I still kept my files around, thankfully. Fast forward to present day, so I'm speaking to you on the 21st of November 2024. So we're like a year and a half, at least, since that point in time. So I tried again with newfound determination and followed a video on YouTube that went through the steps. And even it didn't tell you everything that was required. It said about 95% of what you needed, but it was missing a most crucial step. So I got as far as earlier, I got as far as setting the game's installation files, because I'm just going to guide you through what I had to do. I had to image mount my first CD, which is the installation CD for the game, copy the setup file to my computer. Then I had to... There's a patch that Westwood put out very late, and that patch is still up on ModDB, which you can find. And you have to take, firstly, the Setup.exe file, chuck it in your installation... the setup folder. So take the setup from that, replace the setup in the folder you've copied. Then you need to download DG Voodoo 2 if you don't have that on your computer already. Then you have to take some DLL files from the MS x86 folder, put them in your setup folder, and that will get you as far as installing the game. So that for me got the installer working for the first time. When I tried this a year and a half ago, trying to run the setup would just flash once and then disappear. But trying it this time around, I don't know if DG Voodoo put out some new files or what, now that works. So I got into the installer. And then came the next problem, is that when I went to go install it, the game would say, cannot read, game1.cab or something like that, like a cab file. Now, if you see this particular error, that means you don't have the first disk drive, like with either the CD for the game, physical, or the first image mount drive that you have available in Daemon tools or whatever you're using, hasn't got the image file for the game on that one. It means you've just got it on one of the other ones. So it took hours and hours and hours of reading forum posts and going online and reading every website I could find before one actually mentioned about that. Then as soon as I took out, unmounted all the other drives, leaving only the Emperor 1 CD as the only one that was mounted. Then ran the setup again. Only then did it go past that and allow me to install the game. Thankfully, after that, it was easy. The rest, I could just follow the video that I was following on YouTube. So after that, so once you install the game, then you need to take the Emperor.exe from the zip, put it in your games, into the folder that you installed the game to. Then you need to take, again, the DG Voodoo 2, the same DLL files, the glide files, whatever, put them in, because it's in the MS x86, take those DLL files, put them in that folder, like the one you just installed to, then run DG Voodoo 2 again, and have it configured so that it sees that folder. And by the way, I meant to say before, after you put the DLL files for the installer, for the setup file, you need to also set it so that it can that it's set to that directory. You also need to do it to this one, and in that one you need to set a whole bunch of options if you want to run it in like 1080p and all that kind of stuff. Then after you do all that, then the game should work. And as you can see here, since I'm streaming this, I got there. Oh, so I finally did it. I did it. Anyway, so I got as far as this. Now, of note, I've never played this game before, other than running it this far, and I quickly went into one of the tutorial missions just to see how it looked. But I didn't play it completely, and I haven't played the game. I've never played this game before. I was fully intending to play this long ago, back when it came out after June 2000. The thing was that they went 3D. Like, I liked the Command & Conquer of the time style that was used in June 2000, where they had the top-down view, and that's all you'd ever see, and it was all kind of like 2D graphics. So this is full 3D. In either case, so because I've ran it once, I've already seen the movies that run. Let's go through them all again.
I saw this. All of it.
You have the sight.
Don't pretend ignorance. My Bene Gesserit sisters knew of my history. Of my time among the Fremen.
It's true. You drank the water of life. You survived the weirding ritual.
How else could I do as my sisters commanded? Without the power of the blessed water, I could never have survived the scrutiny of the Emperor's seers.
But you did. And Carino is dead by your hand. Perhaps you are the one.
The atrocity was born of duty. I served you well. You expect more from me? What do you want from me? Speak. Truth.
You dare to use the voice! You dare to enter my mind unbidden!
You are not what you seem, Reverend Mother. What horror are you planning?
This interview is over. You will obey us, sister, or you will die. Die!
I can only die once.
There are deaths, and there are deaths! You will obey us.
Know then that the first great spice war on the planet Arrakis has ended. The Emperor Carino is dead, poisoned by his concubine, the Lady Ilara. Now, a new war rages for the control of the Golden Lion Throne. A great civil war between the noble houses of the Landsraad. Only 3 houses remain with the resources and ability to seize control of the throne. The noble Atreides, the insidious Ordos, the evil Harkonnen. All three are evenly poised. All three are equally committed. All three know that the key to victory lies on a vast, barren, waterless world. Arrakis, home of the most precious substance in the known universe. The spice melange. The spice extends life. The spice expands consciousness. The spice is vital to space travel. A new war begins. Each of the three great houses must attempt to gain the majority of occupied territories on the planet. Who controls Arrakis controls the spice. And who controls the spice controls the universe.
The reign of House Carino is ended. Another house must take its place. I am Shafla. I represent the Spacing Guild's interest in this matter. Under the terms of the Great Convention, a limited form of warfare known as the War of Assassins has been declared by three factions. House Atreides, House Harkonnen, and House Ordos. The rules of conflict prescribe formal declarations of intent. Who would speak for House Atreides?
I am the Duke Achilles of Arrakis.
Of Arrakis. Oh my, that is too rich. I see the Atreides still harbor delusions of superiority.
I was told I would be able to speak.
Baron, you will have your time.
Indeed, I will.
House Atreides will abide by the terms of the Great Convention. Our intent is to secure the planet Arrakis and oversee the production of spice for the good of all.
Baron Rakan.
I had hoped to avoid this unfortunate conflict. My intent was to make a gesture of peace.
Peace? We have oft-times seen the Harkonnen's treachery. While he talks of peace, he plans for war.
Talk is irrelevant. Peace is not an option.
Who is this creature?
It speaks for the executrix of House Ordos.
Is the executrix afraid to speak for themselves? Are they so cowardly?
We are the executrix of House Ordos. We fear nothing. We will abide by the terms prescribed by this council. We will eliminate all competitors. In the end, we will prevail. All other considerations are trivial.
Let it be war then! We will take Arrakis! We will control the
Will control
space!
nothing. Enough! Know then that the War of Assassins has begun. The war will be limited to the planet Arrakis. Use of atomics is forbidden. So long as these rules are followed, the Guild will not interfere. But understand this. During this conflict, and following it, no matter what the outcome, the spice must flow. This council is ended. The war begins.
It has never ended. Arrakis lies at the hub of the universe. Once more, the wheel is poised to turn.
The videos look a lot better than the last time I ran it. So, a few recognizable faces there. One from the previous game. So the Bene Gesserit, that lady that was talking about drinking, that she drank the waters of the Fremen, which allowed her to survive the ordeals. She was in June 2000. you got to see the leader of House Carino, or Catino, whatever it was. I think it was Carino. Briefly, in flashbacks of how he died. The rest is more just familiar actors now in this one. You've got Michael Dorn, who talks very much like how he talks in Star Trek: The Next Generation. I'm not sure if that's how he talks in everything. Maybe that's just his talking style. He seems very similar though. The guy from, I don't know what they are, who they are, because I haven't played through this game much. But one of the guys with the bald heads, I'll say, the guy that was talking the most. I've seen him in stuff. I don't know what the actor's name is, but I've seen him in stuff. Anyway, on to the story thus far.
Know then that the first great spice war on the planet Arrakis has ended. The Emperor Carino is dead, poisoned by his concubine, the Lady Alara. Now, a new war rages for the control of the Golden Lion Throne. A great civil war between the noble houses of the Landsraad. Only 3 houses remain with the resources and ability to seize control of the throne. The noble Atreides, the insidious Ordos, the evil Harkonnen. All 3 are evenly poised. All 3 are equally committed. All 3 know that the key to victory lies on a vast, barren, waterless world. Arrakis, home of the most precious substance in the known universe. The spice melange. The spice extends life. The spice expands consciousness. The spice is vital to space travel. A new war begins. Each of the 3 great houses must attempt to gain the majority of occupied territories on the planet. Who controls Arrakis controls the spice. And who controls the spice controls the universe.
Have they shown this bit already?
The reign of House Carino is ended.
Okay. I think they're just repeating, but... yeah, they are. Okay. So, what else we got? We got sneak peek.
Mr. President, it's General Orville at the Pentagon online.
Hahaha.
This is Dugan.
Mr. President, I'm afraid we have a heck of a situation down here.
How bad could it be, Ben?
According to NORAD, we've got Soviet aircraft coming at us from all directions and ground troops pushing up through Mexico. I don't know how they snuck in on us.
You better double check this with NORAD. This doesn't make any sense. I'll call the Kremlin.
Will do.
Da, Premier Romanov here.
What's going on over there, Alex?
Why, Mr. President, whatever do you mean?
Alex, I have, you're throwing everything you've got at us, Alex. We're supposed to be allies, you maniac. I'm the one that put you into office.
Listen very carefully. I am not your pet, Mr. President. We Romanovs have our legacy to consider.
I don't give a wooden nickel about your legacy. You call them off. Alex, you called them off. You know, we'll retaliate.
Oh, don't be so sure, Mr. President.
Sir,
Verification?
you betcha.
Sweet mother. It's time to hit back. Make it happen.
Yes, sir. This is General Carville. Soviet invasion confirmed. Execute launch order 010 Adam Delta Charlie.
Have confirmation. Missiles prime.
On!
Missile command. 10 seconds to launch. Open the missile silos. Jerry, what? We have to open the silos, or they'll explode under... The silo doors are closed. This is suicide.
Is it done, Yuri?
No, Comrade Premier. It has only begun.
Oh yeah. One of the greatest RTS games of all time right there. If not the greatest. Would I say that's the greatest? I don't know. That game is phenomenal. It is absolutely phenomenal. Whether to say that's the best RTS of all time though, oh, I don't know. Because to me, the first Command & Conquer game is legendary. Even 3 is good too. From the not Red Alert though. Red Alert 3 I don't like, but I will say that yeah, Command & Conquer 1 and 3 are very, very good. 2's not bad either. 2 is pretty good too. 4 is a horrible piece of crap that doesn't deserve the Command & Conquer name. I don't care if it's got Joku Khan in it. That's not a Command & Conquer game. It's just another game with the name Command & Conquer slapped on top. You don't even harvest Tiberium in that game. Anyway, we're here to play Dune. Oh, Emperor Battle for Dune. So, I just wanted to check that out. I think that's everything. So let's jump in and we'll start with for this video, I'll be taking on the tutorial mission. Of note, I'll include the steps I took to get the game to work in the description for this video.
Welcome to the dunes of Arrakis, the desert planet. The only known source of the spice, melange. Spice is the lifeblood of the universe. Without it, space travel would be all but impossible. Harvesters are fully automated vehicles, ungainly sandcrawlers that move over the spice fields, collecting melange in its raw, unprocessed form. Harvesters are escorted by flying transport units known as carryalls. The carryall will pick up and deliver the harvester to a desert spice field, then collect it when it is fully laden or if it is threatened. As spice is delivered to the refinery, funds are made available for the military commander's use. On the violent, windswept planet of Arrakis, strongholds and military bases can be built only on solid rock. This base consists of a construction yard, the heart of any base, a spice refinery, and a pair of wind traps. The wind traps provide power to the base. The battlefield map fills the majority of the screen. To the right is your command bar. The command bar displays vital information and contains a number of important control features. Familiarize yourself with the information display. Take particular note of the radar screen at the top of the bar. You control your forces with the mouse. To select units or buildings, click the left mouse button. Right-clicking will deselect any units or buildings. The mouse pointer also provides information about additional orders that may result from a left button click. One of the wind traps has been damaged by enemy fire. Left-click the repair icon on the command bar. You can hover over the command bar icons to get a tooltip. Once you have the repair cursor, left-click the damaged wind trap. A repair icon will remain on the building until it is fully repaired. Right-click to deselect the building once it has begun to repair.
Okay.
Available space for base building is often restricted. New construction at this point is limited. A beacon has been placed on a section of rock. You can expand construction there. Construction started. Structure ready to place. Additional space required.
How do I...
Additional space required.
How do I build there?
Additional space required. Additional space required. Additional space required.
Okay.
Cancelled. Construction started. Structure ready to place.
No, even that doesn't let me.
Right-click to deselect anything. Left-click on the construction yard. Wait, cancel. Then left-click again.
Okay. Well, how can I place over there?
Construction started.
I mean, I know in the other games you had to build outwards or something and then you could get there, but...
Select the mobile construction vehicle. Scroll the battlefield map so that the beacon is on screen.
Oh.
You may scroll the map by moving the cursor to the edge of the screen, or by using the cursor keys.
Okay.
When the MCV reaches the beacon, deploy it once more. To deploy it, select it, then left-click when the deploy cursor appears. Now that you have extended the base, you can build an infantry barracks. Left-click on the barracks icon in the middle of the command bar. Construction options are now available. Construction started.
Okay, that's a bit different.
Structure ready to place. barracks allows you to train scouts and light infantry. Left click on the infantry tab on the left side of the command bar. Training.
Can I set a
Left click on the light infantry icon to train more infantry units. Training. Training.
so?
Training.
Oh, I understand.
Training. Construction started. Training. Clicking more than once on a unit build icon.
Yes, sir.
Training.
Let's go. Let's go.
Training.
Yes, sir. Let's
Training.
go.
Left
Let's
click
go.
and hold the mouse
Let's
button.
go.
Then training.
What's that? Left click.
On your order.
Oh yeah, I get it.
Yes, sir.
Training.
Let's go.
Move the group of infantry to the newly placed beacon. Enemy units have been spotted. They are approaching the base.
Yes,
On
sir.
word training. Words
Yes,
are
sir.
very dangerous. None of the enemy survived the encounter with the word.
For the Duke.
Training. Training.
Yes, sir.
Training. Train a scout by clicking the scout icon on the command bar. Right click, and then left click on the infantry tab. Left click on the scout icon to produce a trained scout. Training. Now that you have a scout available, select it. Notice that the scout appears different when stationary. This indicates that the unit is in
Yes, sir.
stealth mode and can't be seen by the enemy. Now move the scout to the beacon.
Yes, Commander. They won't notice me. Eyes wide, Commander. Eyes wide, Commander. Eyes wide, Commander.
A scout unit can spot enemy units at a far greater distance than most other units. There are enemy infantry defending a piece of rocky terrain known as Infantry Rock. On Infantry Rock, they are in a defensive position and are safe from being crushed by enemy vehicles. Move the infantry to the beacon. When they are gathered, launch your attack on the enemy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Construction started. Structure ready to place.
So what the yellow means?
Let's go.
No.
Let's go.
Wonder what an outpost does. What do you do? You're not gonna tell me. Okay.
Yes, sir. Let's go. Let's go. For the Duke. For the Duke.
Unit lost. Well done. You have destroyed them. We have received information regarding the location of the enemy base. Reinforcements have been dispatched. Atreides sandbikes have been supplied to help destroy the
Yes,
enemy
sir.
base. Select your forces and move them to the enemy base.
Let's go.
Attack the units
Yes, sir.
and the
Let's go.
buildings by left-clicking on them.
Let's go.
Attack key targets,
Yes, sir.
like
Let's
the
go.
barracks
Yes,
and
sir.
the construction
Eyes wide,
yard,
Commander.
first.
Yes, sir. For the Duke. Yes, sir. For the Duke.
Interesting.
Destroying the barracks makes good tactical sense, Commander.
Yes, sir.
Without it, the enemy cannot train reinforcements.
For the Duke.
Yes, sir? Yes, Commander.
So there's no longer health bars on the buildings. It's more like a health circle. Huh, interesting.
Destroying the enemy refinery will stop the flow of spice and
Yes, sir.
prevent additional funds
For the
from being
Duke.
transferred
Yes, sir.
to
For
the
the Duke.
enemy commander's coffers.
Whilst the game might be in 3D, the basic flow is the same as the other games. Interesting that you don't have to make concrete anymore.
You have destroyed the enemy construction yard. Without it, they will be unable to replace any of the buildings they lose.
Yes, sir. For the Duke. Yes, sir. For the Duke.
You have destroyed the enemy wind trap. Without power, an enemy base will produce units much more slowly. This will
Yes, sir.
hamper the base defenses. The enemy base and its guardians have been destroyed. This area now belongs to House Atreides. Victory is yours.
And victory of the tutorial mission. Alright, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah. Like I said, the basic flow of the game seems to be very similar to the other games. It's just done in 3D. Just a bit different. I do wonder how the colors play out though, because it didn't explain that. So what's the yellow and the red mean? Does that mean, like, is it because of the height of the ground? Does that damage the building? That's why you had concrete in the other ones. Yeah, I don't understand. The game didn't, or maybe it skipped that audio. Like, it didn't explain itself, which it could have done a bit better. Okay, so that was the tutorial mission of the game. As I was saying, I'm just saying this again, just in case the audio was over my speech and you couldn't hear it. I'll put the full steps that I took to get the game to work in the description of this video, just in case that's of help to others, because I found so many posts on the internet with people asking the same question who got as far as I did as far as getting the installation program to open, but getting that GameCab 1 couldn't read error. So many people ran into that and then they never got any further, and they were so close as I was to having the game installed. It was just that the places that told you the steps didn't tell you all the steps. They didn't tell you the most important one to make sure it was off that CD. Anyway, so that concludes this video. We'll get on with... If the game lets me, I'll probably play as House Atreides first. I usually play them as them first. I usually go Atreides, Harkonnen, autos. And that was how I did my playthrough of Dune 2000. So I'll do that of this too. And we'll see how this game turns out. Alright guys, have a good one.